Okay, hopefully everything works in the background. And let's have a look if it does. Everything is working. How good. It is all sorted out. That being said, the audio is, for some reason, extremely quiet. After the first goal here, we'll get that done. Predictions. I've completely blanked on the predictions. Let me do a very, very quick prediction, because I completely forgot that I was meant to be doing that. I've been very all over the place. We'll give you 2 minutes on the prediction here. That is completely on me, but it is what it is. Thank you for reminding me. I just didn't realize until absolutely too late. And yes, I am aware that there is no current game sound. It is, or at least very quiet game sound. As soon as the first goal gets put into the net here, we will hear the audio. I'll sort that one out. It is extremely low because I was playing some free play last night and didn't want to hear the game while I was playing it. So apologies on that one. Thank you everyone that's joined in and with the follows as well. Good shot on by Caleb. It is going to be saved away though. And I think this is probably the longest period of time we've gone without seeing an opening goal so far in all of the show matches I've hosted. Typically, the first goal goes in immediately after the kickoff. Caleb flip reset into the musty. Will be cleared away to the sideline. And Gus will look to get a bit of an attack going. One shot so far from Gus. That might be an overcommit though. And Caleb should be able to score the first of the game, which he absolutely does do. And let me get onto that audio right now. I think we go about there. Alrighty. Hopefully all the audio stuff is all sorted out and we're good to go. We will follow a pretty similar scheme of we will skip tap-in goals on replays, but anything else we should be able to sit back and watch. Of course, Caleb does lead now. Flip reset from Gus, looking to secure their first of the series and the game. Two very experienced ones players, as I said, in OCE. Caleb had been sort of looked at as the top player in ones and recent times. That being said, did play against Raziers, which of course is an import to OCE, but is a current OCE player, and did lose in that series. It was, I believe, I was casting that series, but it's a little while ago and I've forgotten it. I think it was a best of 5 that Raziers did win. I didn't mean to skip that. I literally had just tabbed out. That is a mistake there. But yeah, I'm pretty certain it was a best of 5 that Raziers did win against Caleb 3-0. But other than that, I mean, OCE players in particular, or at least those that didn't import, have been pretty much always, well, not always, but more recently, we've been looking at Caleb as the ones player in amongst that list. Currently showing off a little bit from their own back wall. And now moving it out to the right-hand side. 70 in the tank, looking to get a 50 over the top. Gus will win that challenge. And now Caleb flip reset again into a musty. That's dangerous, and Gus with no boost can't get there. Very nice shot from Caleb. I'd like to watch this one back. Yeah, just Gus, no boost in net. Couldn't read that one. So couldn't get up, couldn't get the save. And Caleb with a handy 3-0 lead. Might be the opener here for Gus, but no, Caleb gets back, got bumped, had low boost, but still recovered to get back for the stop and get the save away as well. Caleb does make it 4-0. Off the back wall, off the play there. And Gus not really finding anything too impressive offensively to this point. Has had a couple of opportunities that didn't lead to too much. But this should be the opener for Gus, and it will be. Sends that one long. Caleb misread that play. And so we do see Gus score one. It is 4-1 now in game one. Minute 15 remaining. As Caleb wants to go full length of the field again. Gets a flip reset, gets the touch over the top, but Gus does get a piece that allows him to take some control. Caleb turning in the midfield. Couldn't get an ideal touch, but gets enough on it, I think, to send it wide. And Gus just keeps pushing. Trying to get that second on the board. Might just overcommit here. And Caleb just sitting on the front of his car for a moment there. Still gets there for the goal, and it is 5-1 in game one. And it's been an impressive display so far from Caleb. Gus making use of a mistake to get his solitary goal. However, other than that, hasn't had too many opportunities to threaten on offense. And Caleb, on the other side of that, has had 12 shots. Have a look at how many Gus has had. Just 4 shots in 1 goal. And Caleb, of course, has had 12 shots to 5 goals. So it's been a pretty dominant display from Caleb, in which he makes it 6-1 with a flip reset off the sidewall. But, I mean, the game was pretty much secured regardless. That one just puts the cherry on top. Gus might be able to make it a 6-2 game. And will score with the final play at 0 seconds. And Caleb does win game one. Which, was pretty dominated the entire way through. I felt like early on, there was a couple of opportunities going either way. But by the end of it, we didn't see too much from Gus. Well, a different storyline in game two. A very early goal. Took quite some time to see our first go in the previous game. And in game one, it was Caleb that scored first. I think Gus got his first goal after Caleb had scored 4. So, different looking start to the game so far. However, Gus's lead doesn't last too long. And Caleb does make it 1-1. Couple of opportunities here and there, but Gus couldn't make anything of it. And Caleb, well, didn't take too long for Caleb to regain the lead that he got in game one. Gus only had the lead for, it was about 15 seconds. Maybe not even that. Caleb fakes that play down. Now wants to go underneath with the 50. Gus gets enough behind it. Low boost, both players. And Caleb might be able to make use of that. Onto the back wall, 30 in the tank now. Forces Gus to jump on it. That's going to roll towards the net, but Caleb gets around it and puts one into a dangerous position from the angle that we're all watching from Gus's perspective. I wasn't sure if that was going to roll in or if it was just going to stay along the goal line. Doomsy dish denied. And Gus is starting to create more opportunities. Caleb, no boost, does a fantastic job to win the play in the midfield and get the boost too. He now looks for a play up high, faking it low. And a save from Gus. And this game is feeling as though it's gone up another level. Nice flick from Caleb. Not going to be too threatening. Caleb will stay in amongst it, waiting for Gus to get a clearance downfield, and the clearance came and it wasn't that great, but Gus could chase onto it. Now Caleb to the sidewall. And putting one downfield, cut off by Gus. Midfield battle at the moment, both players trying to maintain their possession. Not giving each other an inch at the moment, though. That flick doesn't come through from Gus. Caleb to the ceiling. Gus to his own back wall. Doesn't connect. And now Caleb goes upstairs with a pinch off the ceiling, trying to drop it down. Couldn't quite get there on the second. Now from the sidewall, Gus, flip reset, fakes it. And Caleb doesn't get the save. I held my breath for a moment there. But Caleb couldn't get enough behind it. Thought he might have done enough, but hadn't that time round, and Gus tying us up. But it doesn't last that long as Caleb from the right corner will make it 3-2. Nice play from Gus. Should earn himself another equalizer, and does just that. And this game has a much more topsy-turvy feel to it. Gus has had a lead. Caleb's had a couple of leads. But it does often end up equalized. That being said, Caleb has yet another lead. And Gus not really doing himself any favors on that play. Caleb does get a nice flick. Should be able to get back to it, but well done by Gus to get behind it. Low boost to the tank. And now has to recover. Gets a great touch. Had to stretch for that one. And now wants the midfield boost. Makes Caleb a little bit awkward. Should be able to turn it on as well. The bump does come through from Caleb. That opens up his opportunities. Will be able to score off the back of it. And 5-3. That lead just extending a little bit for Caleb. Gus has kept game 2 a lot closer. But in the final minute, it might just be slipping away. Nice 50. And Gus wins the full boost as well. Tried to control it. And Caleb just dives on it to make it 6-3. 45 remaining. That feels like it's probably going to be the game set here. Although, a goal could keep it interesting. Then Gus does just that. Makes it interesting. 40 seconds for 2 goals. Absolutely a possibility. Will have to come down to kickoffs, though. The ball does fall into Caleb's lap, and now should be able to get a nice touch around. And it is a nice goal from Caleb. Gets over the top and then gets a great touch just to ensure. And again, we go back to a 3-goal margin. Gus, flip reset, uses it on the ground, couldn't make anything of it. Does win the corner boost and wins the midfield boost, but didn't have possession, and so one last opportunity. And it will be the last opportunity, because we've run out of time. The clock hits 0. The ball hits ground, and Caleb has a 2-game advantage in the series. It definitely did feel like Gus made a improvement there in game 2. Held on for a little bit longer. That being said, Caleb still absolutely dominating the shot statistic. 11-5 shots in that one. And at the moment, well, what Gus said was Caleb's expectation. Looks as though it might be coming true. It's looking as though Caleb could be able to do the sweep. However, we've got a long way to go. If Caleb wins this one, then maybe we can talk a little bit more about the possibility of that. Caleb does take the open up in game 3. Kickoff does go the way of Gus now. Has a full tank to work with, trying to get it over the top, and Caleb just has it right again. And Gus is just really struggling to create anything of real substance. Caleb shutting the door so often on plays that Gus keeps going for. Neither of them wanted the corner boost from Gus's boost. And now Gus takes 200 in a matter of seconds to try to steal it away from Caleb, but that doesn't deter Caleb to get the play all the way into Gus's half once more. Good speed from Caleb shown there, but couldn't get around it again. And a bit of a mistake from Gus. Does get back to it. It should fall into the middle, especially with the demo. That helps out Gus's cause, and will be able to get the goal deficit down to just the 1. Gus again winning the boost on kickoff, but Caleb will get a shot away. Gus to the ceiling, flip reset. Wants to get another instead, just goes for the air dribble over the top. Caleb gets a touch away. Gus again trying to get around it. And it's just these big 50 wins from Caleb that are so crucial to how he's dominated so far in this series. Whenever Gus is in Caleb's corner, you fear more for Gus than you fear for Caleb. That's not to discredit Caleb's ability on the ball. It's more so to talk about Caleb's defensive efforts. Couldn't get a touch there. Will take it all the way back into his own half and reset off his own back wall. Flip reset into another one and gets over the top. Gus can't get it. Is that on target? It does roll in to the bottom right. And it's a really nice play off the back wall there from Caleb. Fake kickoff. Gus winning the corner boost, has possession as well. But Caleb again, low boost is not a tricky subject for Caleb. Always seems to remain in control of the play regardless of how much boost he has in the tank. Nice touch over the top. Gus looks to get back to it. Low boost from both players. Gus does make a save and tries to keep it nice and close, doing a fantastic job of doing just that. And Caleb side flips out the way, can't make the stop, and Gus does bring it back to a 1-goal deficit, 3-2. Does capitalize on a mistake there from Caleb. The side flip wasn't what was wanted. But now on the kickoff, Caleb has a free run at it. Flip reset. Then Gus will say thank you for a relatively tame effort. Musty onto the back wall to dunk it down, and Caleb again will be able to try to work it away. Low boost, Gus just trying to keep the pressure in the blue half. Good touch by Gus, but it probably won't be enough. Well, it does enough to stall it. Caleb to the ceiling. Fakes out the Musty. Can't get back to it. Gus does enough. Can he do it again? Yes, he can. Just gets a high flick over the top. Low boost from Gus, but still wants to go forward. And steals Caleb's corner boost as well. Nice shot on. And now Gus using a bit of speed to catch out Caleb. And that speed did exactly that. Supersonic all the way into the corner, all the way up the field, and all the way into the shot. And Caleb probably knew that Gus was going, but might not have known how quick Gus was going. That demo means that Caleb can quickly turn in the midfield as well. Minute remaining. That touch is a little bit awkward, but Gus, not too sure what happened on the spawn there. Might have just panic flipped a little bit. Caleb, midfield line of defense once more. Gets demoed this time. So Gus can at least get past the midfield. Flip reset into a musty. That's ingenuity, but it doesn't turn into a goal. 30 seconds remaining. Caleb to his own backwall wants to psycho it. And we're seeing a little bit of a step up mechanically from these two players. Wanting to outdo each other. Now Gus, just a simple air dribble over the top. Gets a stop, Caleb, but can't get it away. And Gus does make it a 4-3. I should have watched that replay. I wanted to see that save again, but I clicked too quickly. Kickoff. Is a great opportunity for Caleb, though. Doesn't lead to much. One last chance, perhaps. Gus doesn't commit for the boost, for the ball. Goes for the boost instead. Caleb dropping down. Wants to find a bump. Goes for it. Doesn't connect. And Gus has a game in the series to make it a 2-1 series. And Gus's prediction on Caleb's prediction has not gone the correct way. That is nicely done by Gus to get a win on the board. And that does mean we at least have 5 games. It's been a mixed bag in terms of the starts to these games. No start to a match is felt alike. It took a long time before someone scored in game 1. It was immediately off the bat in game 2. In game 3, I've somehow forgotten the most latest one. But it took some more time for Gus to open the scoring here. That's a great flick from Caleb. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, boy. That's incredibly unfortunate from Gus there. And Caleb, with the help of his opponent, has tied up the match. Oh, Caleb goes early there, and not too sure what that play was. Maybe expected Gus to go for an early flick or something. Gus just kept the ball under his control, went for the ground plate. Caleb trying to get himself out of the difficult scenario. Gus gets a flip reset, fakes underneath, and should be able to get around that one. Yeah, will do so. And a couple of times now, I do wonder what exactly, or where exactly, Caleb's defensive ability has gone in this game so far. I mean, he did score a goal, but that was also off the back of an own goal. So defense is not the aim of the game at the moment in game 4. And the open net secured by Gus. Again, Gus showing some good composure rather. And does make it 5-1 as well. I mean, could have rushed it. Might have seen Gus rush that sort of play from his own corner previously. But it's absolutely settled down in this one. Takes all the time he needs. And gets an opportunity going forward. Flip reset. Goes for a pogo. Gets it over the top. That should be a goal for Gus, and it is. 6-1. Nice pogo. Like to see this again. Nice little shot over the top. Goes by Caleb. And I mean, yes, it doesn't go in off the play. But it does still end up in the back of the net. And Gus did beat out Caleb with a nice play. Which, I mean, this is by far the biggest scoreline we've seen for either player so far. Gus trying to get that Brazil. And Caleb with a nice flick over the top. What a save from Gus. Surely can't get a second. No, he can't. Caleb will get his second goal. It's a great defensive effort for the first save, but we're seeing these saves that end up in a good position for the offense to get back to it, and that kickoff goes the way of Gus. I think that was a delayed kickoff. It was a delayed kickoff from Gus. And we're seeing these kickoff strategies come through for both players now. That time might not have favored Caleb, even though he was the one who pulled a trick out. And Gus trying to use the chain dashes to get back to it. Won't be able to get back for the shot as Caleb does make it 3-7. And it's an extremely high-scoring affair now. Flip reset. Just a simple flip reset used in the end. Nothing too spectacular. And Caleb trying to force his way through. Trying to wait for a commit from Gus that just simply hasn't come on defense. At least on this occasion. Great control by Gus with the great flick as well. Should be able to get around it. And to the top bins. It is an 8-3 game that, I mean, this is, I expected Gus to be able to pull out some good games and make a series of this. There was never a doubt in my mind about that, but after the first couple of games, I wasn't really imagining such a dominant display to come up from Gus. Caleb still trying to keep it as close as possible. That's a brilliant save. To deny a fourth goal. However, that's not a brilliant save. To not deny the fourth goal. And it's 4-8 now. It's not out of the reach of Caleb just yet. Gus jumped early, but decided to back out of it. Great flip reset used by Caleb, but it's just hit the post and rolled on out. And now Gus looks to keep the pressure on in the midfield, gets by, and gets his 9th of Game 4. Incredibly high-scoring affair now. Minute 22 remaining. Gus will attempt to break into double digits. Caleb will attempt to see what he can pull back, and it just keeps on going. You score, I score kind of stuff. And that kickoff will lead to another opportunity here. And Caleb gets a fantastic flick, and it's down into 3-goal difference territory. And in a minute, that is 100% possible to come back from. That should be a 7th from Caleb, and this would be an incredible comeback if he can do this. Kickoff doesn't go the way of Gus that time. Does decide to fake that one. Gets bumped. Caleb turns around, and it's going to be 7-8 now. Sorry, 8-9. Oh, no. Gus, hold on. It's going to be one hell of a ride, but it's going to be tied up with 50 seconds remaining. And it's not gone in Gus's favor. An incredible turnaround from Caleb, and off the kickoff, doesn't score. Gus low boost though, just desperate to maintain some possession and will win the midfield battle. Wants to have a go over the top. Might still be able to grab a win here. Only tied up, but that's going to be easily red from Caleb. And that's going to be Caleb's 10th. I was talking about Gus getting a 10th. And since then, Caleb scored what I think is 6 unanswered. It's 10-9. 20 seconds remaining. Gus had a 5-goal lead at one point. Might be able to equalize this late, and he does. It's a 10-10 game. Oh my word. Flip reset from Gus. Nice play over the top. Gets another one and a big dunk. It's 10 goals each. Do not adjust your computer monitors. The scoreline you're seeing is right. And we should be headed to an OT. Unless one last effort from Caleb. Looks to go over the top and it's scored at 0. Caleb makes it 11-10. Oh my word. You've got to feel for Gus to lose that match. Well, that doesn't do wonders in terms of the series. Because now Gus is on series point. Or Caleb's on series point. I think I said Gus then. That's on me. Gus has to fight back in the series. Has to win 3 in a row. Caleb simply has to win 1 after a 21-goal thriller. In Game 4, Caleb gets the scoring underway in Game 5. Gus wants to get the bump, finds the demo, and ties us up immediately off the back of Caleb's opener. I mean, that's got to hurt. Show match, official match, whatever. Having a 5-goal lead with so little time remaining to lose in a 11-10 game has got to hurt. And Caleb will get a Cookser pinch downfield, and it just goes in. 30 seconds played, and we've got 3 goals scored. The rate of which these players score is absolutely incredible. So many goals, so often. And Caleb has a 3-1 lead after 35 seconds played. Ground play from Gus. Easily stopped from Caleb. And will easily be put on target by Caleb to make it 4-1. Well, I won't say that this game can't go to a Game 6. But I will say at least it's not going to be a sweep, I guess. We did see a best-of-7 sweep yesterday. At least we've avoided that 2 days in a row. Gus. Flip reset. Oh, hang on a second. That was a incredibly deceptive flip reset. Not too sure how that one worked, but I thought it was going for the bottom right, or at least to the right-hand side, as did Caleb. Flip reset ended up going to the left side, and that's going to be another one. Gus does make it 4-3. I mean, we're on track for another 21-goal thriller like last time. However, Caleb extends his lead once again. And now that 2-goal margin is back in Caleb's favor. No boost on the kickoff for Gus to work with. Trying to make do with 0 and does a great job making do with 0. Waited for the commit from Caleb, who had lots of boost in the tank. And then went for an early flick or an early shot. Caleb just making Gus a little bit awkward there with a shot on that probably wasn't ever really going to score, but was a bit of a test up. Gus just patient here. Plays to the back wall. Does incredibly well just to stay patient. And now looks for a flip reset. Oh, the shot doesn't go through. Half the game played. Just the 1 goal difference as it stands. Gus 1 goal down. Caleb might be able to extend it again. It's been, for the most part, a two goal lead, which Gus cannot save this one, and so Caleb does make it a 2 goal lead once more. And it's a nice play from Caleb. Flip reset, waits and waits, then uses the flip to drop it down to the ground, and that's a little bit of a ghost touch by the look of it as well from Gus, but, well, it's unfortunate. But it was a brilliant play from Caleb regardless. A simple flick, simple 45 flick from Gus, and we are back again to just the 1 goal difference, 6-5. It has been an incredibly high-scoring series. More so than, I mean, I've said it's a high-scoring series for other series so far this week, but this is taking it to a whole new level. Nice control from Caleb, but it's a great 50 by Gus. Has possession and has boost. Caleb, though, does have a full tank. Oh, not quite on target. Tried to slip it by Caleb. And gets back to it here. Gus doesn't grab the corner and doesn't have possession either. But a tight angle shot. Caleb, plenty of speed to get there. And now just puts one on. Gus will save it. And Gus just trying to make some pressure despite not having possession. Caleb takes it wide. To the back wall. Won't be able to drop it down. Will grab the corner boost though. Gus has to go quickly. Caleb is there. And does score. That is an interesting angle to score off of. I don't know how this ends up in the back of the net. I mean, it's okay. It's pretty much on the outside of the post. Caleb gets a touch with the front and then the back of his car to get it on target. This time around, it is 7-6. Off the kickoff, Gus does again score. And it just keeps going. No one can have an incredibly dominant lead. It's always kept close. Caleb from the corner. Flip reset used. Wants to get the dunk. Does well. Gus does enough. And now with the flick, opens it up again, and we are tied up. 32 seconds. Caleb scored a 0-second goal in game 4. Can Gus keep it close enough to at least take it to an OT this time? Does well to fake out. The flick has pretty much no power behind it as Gus had no boost in the tank. Caleb fakes a shot. Low boost for himself. Just puts one on. Gus. That's not a great touch. Caleb trying to fake it. It is played away. 10 seconds remaining. And we could be on for another 0-second goal. It's going to drop down. Caleb won't get there, but might be able to keep it alive. It is up still, and it's floating. Caleb will take it to the sidewall and has a full tank to work with. It might be out of his reach. No, it's not. Flip reset to find a bump. Doesn't get it. Does get the demo, and it still doesn't touch ground. He has boost to work with now as well. Trying to take it over the top. And finally, it touches down. And we are blessed with an overtime. But just felt like a long time coming in this series. Now for Gus's sake, we hope he scores next to keep the series alive. For a neutral sake, we hope the same. Oh, I thought I was about to eat my words, and I thought Caleb might have just scored. Now that might be a great opportunity. Out wide, puts it on target, misses! It wasn't on target, Caleb doesn't score. might not have wanted to end it like that, but he does end it like that in the end. It's a great goal from Caleb. Flip reset, not used. Right until the end, and then over the top. And Caleb wins the series. Brilliant performance from Caleb there. I still feel so bad about that 11-goal game. Well, that 11-goal win, rather, where we saw 21 goals scored. That was ridiculous, it has to be said. But that will conclude the show match here tonight. Congratulations to 3 of you who predicted for Caleb to win. It was a relatively close prediction, actually. Did keep it close, but overall got the win done there. And yeah, that is going to wrap up the show match for this week. I mean, if you consider Sunday the first day of the week, we will be back next week then with Luna versus Kraid, I think is at 8 p.m. on Sunday. We will be looking at organizing more 1v1s throughout the week as well. First, well, at least in the back of the mind, I think we also have Lucifer versus Shugs lined up for Thursday at 7. So there's at least 2 series running next week. Hopefully we can find some for, you know, maybe a Tuesday night or Monday night or something, and we can sort of just keep it going, because at the moment, we're sort of feeling like there's a bit of momentum in the OCE 1 scene. At least for me, it feels like there's a bit of momentum having 4 series across 5 nights.